North Korea launched a test rocket over Japan for the first time in 5 years, sparking concerns over an armed escalation in Asia. Japanese authorities were outraged with the test and immediately responded with joint military exercises with the United States.
Sirens and warning announcements surprised the people of Japan as a North Korean missile flew over the Asian archipelago for the first time in 5 years.
North Korea has fired a ballistic missile. It flew over our country and we believe it fell in the Pacific Ocean. It's another barbaric action again after the repeated ballistic missile launches, and we strongly condemn this.
The rocket, which the Japanese believe to be an intermediate-range ballistic missile, prompted the authorities to conduct urgent military drills with the US Air Force and Navy. At the same time, the United States conducted similar exercises with South Korea.
Launching a ballistic missile that passes over Japan without prior notice from North Korea is an extremely problematic action, not only from the viewpoint of aircraft and ships, but also to ensure the safety of residents in areas within its path.
Japanese citizens expressed concerns over North Korea's missile tests.
The launching of the J alert really made me aware that the danger is real and close to me.
Japan, the United States and South Korea strongly condemned the test, which was the 33rd missile launched by Kim Jong-un's regime in 2022, the most it has ever launched in a single year.
With the 2022 World Cup in Qatar on the horizon, more and more countries are voicing concerns over human rights violations in the Arab country. To protest the slave-like working conditions and various restrictions faced by women and LGBT communities, some European football associations have issued special jerseys for the upcoming tournament.
These toned-down jerseys of the Danish national football team are not a manufacturing error. They've been specially designed for the upcoming World Cup in Qatar. They are a sign of protest against the inhumane working conditions endured by the construction workers who built the new stadiums.
We don't wish to be visible during a tournament that has cost thousands of people their lives. We support the Danish national team all the way, but that isn't the same as supporting Qatar as a host nation. We believe that sport should bring people together, and when it doesn't, we want to make a statement.
Even though the Danish Football Federation stopped short of the toughest measure, which would be to boycott the tournament entirely, experts believe that such protests are a good middle ground.
In 50 days, the topics such as human rights and minority rights will be raised by everyone, and you cannot be indifferent. And if someone is indifferent, they will also express their attitude towards important things.
Special shirts have also been adopted by another Scandinavian country, Norway. The Tromsø Football Club, in cooperation with Amnesty International, designed jerseys which show a QR code. Upon scanning the code, users are taken to a website featuring information on human rights.
What happens is basically the employer owns you. That's best how I can describe it, you know. Experts and researchers will say differently, but from my experience, under the kafala system, you are someone's property.
The choice of Qatar as the host of the 2022 World Cup garnered a lot of criticism from the very beginning, as extreme temperatures, lack of proper infrastructure and evident violations of basic human rights in the country pointed to corruption in FIFA.
Among these executive community members, which are truly said, 15 people or 12 people, very important guys who haven't played the football in their lives, but they had very much to say in their continental confederations of football, and who can decide the votes, and that's how it works. It's simply corruption.
Apart from the glaring human rights abuses, European football fans were also disheartened to hear about various limitations which are to be imposed during the tournament, like the ban on alcohol consumption inside stadiums. The 2022 World Cup begins on November 20th and will last until December 18th. It will see 32 national teams compete for the ultimate football trophy.
Belgrade's Poseidon weapon system, a drone equipped with a nuclear bomb that Russia has claimed is capable of creating a radioactive tsunami. The drone can be deployed from the submarine and detonated at a depth of 1 kilometer near a coastal city. Russian state media has claimed the device can create a 1600 wave that smashes into the coast and irradiates it. The 600-feet submarine was delivered to the Russian Navy as part of Russian President Vladimir Putin's top-secret program that aims to develop and operate a series of a new class of superweapons. Analyst Rebecca Koffler said that Russia's use of such a weapon would only come as a last resort in the event that Russia and the US are in a direct kinetic war and Russia is losing. Koffler said the device is likely not to be operational until 2027, but Putin may be testing it as a means to intimidate both Ukraine and its NATO allies in the West. Putin has warned that Russia's potential use of nuclear weapons is not a bluff. Belgorod's location remains publicly unknown, a situation that is not particularly surprising to Koffler. According to her, Russian submarines have some of the best stealth capabilities in the world and have even entered U.S. waters undetected in the past. Koffler said there have been times when Russian nuclear-powered attack submarines, armed with long-range cruise missiles, operated undetected for weeks close to U.S. shores. The nuclear torpedo was presented in 2018 by Russia as the way to ensure Russian military supremacy, although nuclear experts have argued that the same effect can be achieved with an intercontinental missile like those in operation since the 1960s. The United States has activated the satellite network to track torpedoes that takes advantage of the high heat given off by the projectiles when they are activated.